Hold on, I got this. Ugh, why do I keep dying? No, you're not gonna play. You're just a rat. Ow. That really hurt. Welcome back, everybody, to the best pixel animated talk show that has ever existed. Seriously. If you haven't liked or subscribed, what are you waiting for? Alright, next guest coming right up.
Oh my god, what the hell just happened? How did I even get in there?
Hey Ari, welcome to 8-Bit Underground. And sorry about that, this telepad I bought on Wish.com has been acting up lately. Welcome to the show.
Hello, it's great to be here today. Thanks for having me on.
Alright, so this is a fan favorite question. What is your favorite video game of all time?
My favorite game of all time is Chrono Trigger because pretty much everything about the game is perfect. The graphics, the story, the gameplay, the characters, and I also really appreciate how there's no random encounters and how it's fairly short for an RPG. It's just exactly how an RPG should be. And I've played through the game so many times that I've even played through the Japanese version of the game with very little help of a guide.
Well, I believe you. I've heard so many people say that the Chrono Trigger soundtrack is amazing. One of my favorites is the soundtrack for the NES game called Wizards and Warriors.
Speaking of the music from Chrono Trigger, Lame Genie has covered some of the music from the game, which I really love, and I've heard them play it live. I've seen them play live at some of the gaming conventions I've been to, as well as at some metal shows.
Oh yeah, Lame Genie. I think I've heard of them. Anyway, so you're a retro game collector, right? What systems do you focus on?
Now, I'm a little bit of an everything collector. I usually stick with games that are at least fairly well received, though not always. And I do love playing plenty of my games. There's lots of games that I love and I'm always coming back to. And some of them stay on the shelf. That's sometimes just how it is. I even own a few games that I don't have the system for. For example, I have some games for the Odyssey 2, which I don't even own, but they were complete in box and the price was right. So I thought, why not?
The prices have really changed over the years.
Yeah, a lot has changed since I started collecting around 2012, 2013. And the prices have gone up a lot. For example, I believe it was Retro World Expo 2019, kind of going back to conventions here. I saw a copy of Skies of Arcadia on the Dreamcast for $75, and I thought, I kind of want this, but maybe not today. And let's just say I really regret that. And also, I saw a copy of Hopful Mail on the Sega CD, complete in box, at a game store in Massachusetts. And it was around like $150, I want to say, and that one I did get. And I'm very happy that I went through with that because it's skyrocketed since then, and I'm very happy to have it in my collection.
You keep mentioning conventions. Care to share some experiences?
Absolutely. I could tell you all about the conventions I've been to. The ones I mainly go to are Rhode Island Comic Con, Retro World Expo in Connecticut, Connecticut GamerCon, and PAX East in Boston. And what I really like about going to all those different conventions is there's always different things to see, different guests, different vendors. Some are larger than others, and there's always something different, and they offer different things. At every convention I go to, and I'm sure that some can relate, there's always something special about finding that one game when you're checking out the vendors. I had a moment like that pretty recently at this past Connecticut GamerCon, where I found one vendor that had all kinds of PC Engine games, and I was just like, oh my god, I want everything. But I had some self-control and I only got 2. So that was a really fun find. And of course there's always like going to each of the booths and thinking like, oh, I wish I could afford that. And aside from game hunting, another aspect I really like are the free play arcades. For example, Retro World Expo as well as Connecticut GamerCon have console free play, and so does PAX East. And what I love about Retro World Expo is there's classic arcade machines, which I just love. Now, one of my favorite moments at any convention was at PAX East 2016. I was at the Nintendo booth, and I was approached by someone there and asked, do you want to be on Nintendo Minute? Which some of you may remember used to be a YouTube show. And I was like, oh my god, yes! So if you look up Know Yo Nintendo PAX East, you'll be able to find it. And that essentially was Nintendo trivia, and you can see me there back when I was 15 years old, not even 16 yet, answering trivia questions about Nintendo, back when I had my long hair and I was wearing my old Inkling cosplay without the mascot head. And my cousin's there too. He has his on. And yeah, essentially it was trivia, and some of those questions that we were asked didn't even make it into the final cut.
Did you get to meet anyone famous?
I've met many different creators at the conventions I've been to. And just to name a few of them, that includes Norm the Gaming Historian, Pixel Dan, Vinny from Vinesauce, though most notably is Pat Contry. The first time that I met him was at PAX East 2015, and most recently was Retro World Expo 2021. That time at PAX East 2015, I didn't even know he was going to be there. I was just walking around the expo hall, then I came across his booth, and I was all like, oh my god, is that who I think it is? So I go back there, I chat a bit, I buy some DVDs, get some autographs on said DVDs, and take a photo. And it's just such a great memory that I have.
And I saw you met James Rolfe, the angry video game nerd. Who would you like to meet in the future?
I always thought it would be really fun to meet some of the bigger name YouTubers who go to events such as PAX East, like Markiplier, creators like that. But the only thing with that is their meet and greets are usually only on certain days, so I have to be attending that certain day, and there's usually a big line, so we'll see. Never know what will happen in the future.
Well, that's it for now. Thank you, Ari, for stopping by. It's been a pleasure. Pleased to meet you.
Thanks again for having me on. But I'm not gonna get trapped in an egg again, am I?
I promise you, you won't be trapped in an egg again.
Oh my god, you bastard! Let me out of here right now!
Alright, everybody, see you again in the next episode of 8-Bit Underground.